We're in the West Loop, Fulton Market, and Kinzie Corridor neighborhoods right now. There's been a handful of significant transactions over the past couple of years that have reshaped these neighborhoods. Of note, Google moving into the Fulton Market cold storage building, and McDonald's soon to be moving into the Harpo Studios. The significance of where we're standing is the delineation between what is the downtown expansion area and the PMD. The biggest difference between the east side and the west side is what you can do and the density that you can achieve in the downtown expansion area, and the PMD, which you cannot. So the land value, which while high for a PMD, is roughly half of what the land value is just across the street.
Prior to PMD zoning, developers were targeting industrial properties to convert to a more valuable use. Industrial jobs left the city in droves as manufacturing firms were displaced. First PMD was proposed in 1985 to shelter industrial firms from being pushed out of the city and to combat declining employment for blue-collar workers. Mayor Emanuel and Alderman Hopkins have advocated and negotiated for the removal of the PMD zoning in the Clybourne corridor. Negotiations have laid the foundation for other PMDs in the city to be reevaluated.
We're here in Pilsen at the International Produce Market. Pilsen's been pegged as one of the hottest submarkets that developers are taking a look at today just because of the fundamentals that are present. Within this pocket, a tremendous amount of food users wanting to be close to one another because they find synergies in proximity with their competitors and with their neighbors. The land value will continue to increase in this pocket because of the proximity to the loop and because of the transportation.
Loosening of the PMD for non-residential use should be anticipated shortly after the Kinzie Corridor PMD is amended.
We're at 35th and Ashland, which is the northernmost portion of the Stockyards, which has traditionally been a heavy industrial space on the south side of Chicago. The flip side of the argument on keeping the PMDs in this area are to retain manufacturing jobs in the city of Chicago. What the alderman in this ward, Pat Thompson, has proposed is that you look at each property on a case-by-case basis. And obviously, this property isn't being used right now. It is the old Wrigley building, which is actually in the process of being converted from PMD zoning into a big box retail play. In this pocket, it makes sense just given that it's in the Ashland corridor.
The Stockyards will remain industrial for the foreseeable future. On a case-by-case basis, commercial may be introduced, especially in the northernmost area of the Stockyards and along Ashland and Halstead, but don't expect any new residential development anytime soon.